Let us pray. Almighty God, the creator and ruler of heaven and earth, we beseech thee to inspire and guide all our actions so that we may always walk in the path of justice, love, and charity to one another. Help us with thy grace to do only those things that will promote the unity, peace, happiness, and prosperity of Nigeria in general and Lagos State in particular. Amen. Good afternoon, distinguished colleagues. You are all welcome to today's sitting. Let us go through the votes and proceedings of Friday, 9th October 2020.
Good afternoon, the Right Honorable Speaker, my distinguished colleagues. I find my name under absent, and it is not in my usual manner not to be attending
Mr.
any
Clerk,
plenary.
please address that. Honorable Council.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I want to call our attention to matters of urgent public importance. Under the incessant gas explosion in Lagos State, as discussed by Honorable Yusuf.
Stay on page 230. The first way, let's listen to them.
Okay.
Honorable Shokunle.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name also appeared on absent list as against officially absent.
I can't hear you. Make use of the mic.
I said my name appeared on absent list as against officially absent, sir.
Oh, please, sir. Mr. Clark, address that. Honorable Laiwola.
Mr. Speaker, sir. I qualify my name under absence, sir.
Address that to Honorable Mojisola Macaulay.
Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker. Good afternoon, my colleagues. I also find my name under the absent. I had a program in my constituency.
Honorable Sylvester.
Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues. I found my name in absence, sir.
All right. Yeah, Honorable, good evening.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I informed you on Friday of not being able to be around, sir.
I hear you.
I said that I informed you on Friday of not being able to be around in the chamber.
Please address. Yeah, on page 231, Honorable Council.
Thank you, sir. On page 231, number 3, matters of urgent public importance, under the incessant gas explosion in Lagos State, line 4. If you permit me to read that line, sir, that is affected. He recalled the resolution of the House which prohibited the siting of gas plants. The siting that is used there on line 4 is the siting that's supposed to be associated with, when I'm praising my speaker,
No.
as citation, sir. It should be spelled S-I-T-E-I-N-G, siting. The siting of a gas plant, not C as it is written here. The same actually now applies across board in 3A, 3C, then the Roman figure 2 of C, the A, and C further down. The same applies all through, sir. So I believe the corrections have to be made for it to make more meaning. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. See on page 321, we have not agreed on decision either to allow siting of gas plants in residential nor otherwise. It's one of the assignments given to the committee to come back to us after their findings and discussion with the officials and the operators. So we can't rush into our decision making. So we should allow them to come back and tell us what can be done. Because if we are saying not within residential, so are we saying they should go outskirts? So how do people who use this for their daily life, so how do they access it? So we have to allow them to tell us the danger, and maybe there's a provision that has to be put in place before such approval is granted. So I think that should be taken away and allow the committee to get back to us before we decide. 232. I have examined the votes and proceedings of Friday, 9th October 2020, and approval is here granted. Any message from the governor?
Right Honorable Speaker, sir, distinguished honorable members, there is no message from the
Any
government.
other announcements?
There is no announcement, sir.
Any petition?
None, sir.
Matter of other public importance? Personal explanations? Reports? Honorable Rotibiolo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My colleague, good afternoon. Mr. Speaker, I rise this afternoon to appreciate you and the Deputy Speaker on the prompt attention and response to the yearnings of our youth, especially as it borders on NSAR's protest. And Mr. Speaker, on Thursday, my son told me from Canada that he saw you and Deputy Speaker addressing this our youth, that they are part of the struggle, that I really appreciated you coming out, and I appreciate that as well. Coming out to the House around 12 a.m. to address the youths with the Deputy Speaker and some of our colleagues. It shows that you are not just a leader, you are a father, and you have blood running in your vein. And we all know that the youth is the strength of a nation. Yes, there could be some negligible number of youths that are destroying the image of Nigeria today as engaging in some fraudulent activities. But Nigerian youths are very hardworking and highly talented. They've won many accolades, laurels from outside the world and in Nigeria as well. So for you to do that, it shows you are not just responsible as a father, as a leader, as a statesman, but it shows that you are very responsive as well. I thank Mr. Deputy Speaker as well. Mr. Speaker, in addition to that, on Friday, you called for an emergency plenary. I know you couldn't have got to your home earlier than 2 a.m. that same day, that Friday, that Thursday. And you called for plenary at 9 on Friday to address the issues that borders on the destruction of our youth by SARS. It shows you are a good man and you are a great father. I appreciate that, Mr. Speaker. In addition to that, you have done a lot of things that make me to always appreciate you. Preservation of Yoruba language and Yoruba culture. You are at the forefront. And today we are speaking Yoruba every Thursday, and we are telling our children to speak Yoruba. It shows that you are just a man of uncommon courage. Can we talk about many bills that you've filled out since you joined this LSHA chamber? I don't think, I doubt if there's any single honorable member in any House of Assembly in Nigeria has ever met that stride. Mr. Speaker, I appreciate you. But before I move a vote of confidence in you, I have this to say, and to please implore you, that you should please allow members to raise their voice. Not only raising their voice, they must raise their hands again, and allow them to speak, because these mischievous people have gone to the public again with a view to destroy your person. On Saturday, I saw on social media where they were saying 26 honorable members of Lagos State House of Assembly. I don't know the 26, so, because I know that you are a majority here, and I know that we are more than 26 that are following you because you are a great man. So these 26 that have written or signed for your impeachment, let us know them today, so that call for the raising of the hands. We will know those that are the 26 or not. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to implore you to please allow all the members to speak and to talk about the need to eulogize you, because we eulogize you. When you are doing well, we will support you. But when you are not doing well, we will tell Mr. Speaker, hey, there's one or two mistakes there. But we know you are doing well, and there's the need for us to support you. If you don't eulogize, we will eulogize you. Then I want to ask my colleagues whether the 26 are from this House of Assembly or from one house in Pluto, not in Nigeria. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Please allow our members to raise their voice as well. Thank you. God bless you.
Honorable Kaide Joseph.
Thank you, the Right Honorable Speaker. I rise to support the motion, to second the motion being moved by Honorable Olowo.
He hasn't moved a motion. He has expressed it. So if you have a contribution, just go.
Yes, I have. Thank you very much, sir. Like he rightly said, to some of us that came in last year, we have seen what you as a leader have shown us. And to the ranking members that we met, they have told us a lot of things that happened at the 7th, 8th assemblies, that what we are even seeing this time around, the night assemblies are far, far much more better than that. And lots of time we have been to you to come to meet you personally in respect of some of the legislative job. And you have been, as a father, giving us a lot of means and leeway on how to do it. The message that Honorable Lowo said in respect of those 26 people that signed to impeach you, I too read it. I'm saying here now that I myself am not part of those people that signed it. And I believe those that, not in this house, even those that said truly that they are the one that are moving the impeachment, I think we're in the public domain. They can raise up their hands and let us see them. What they want and what they see that your leadership quality have not given us. Once again, I want to appreciate you. Thank you, Director of the Speakers.
Honorable Setonji.
The Right Honorable Speaker and my colleagues, I'm so happy this morning to be part of this. Mr. Speaker is a wonderful man. I have learned a lot from him. He has sponsored so many motions, not to talk of bills. And the experience is matchless. One thing I've also seen is that he's ensuring the sanctity of the legislative arm of government, to the extent that that is obviously that is one of the things the other houses of assembly in Nigeria, saw in him to make you, sir, the chairman of the body of speakers. So you have been such a wonderful leader to us. That is why I'm amazed to hear some rumor mongers peddling the rumor that there are some 26 somewhere that want to do something else. I believe very strongly that you have a great number, if close to 30 number of us here in this house that are suddenly behind you. So where they got that number 26, I cannot even imagine it. So I pledge my loyalty to you because you have been so good in managing this house. And I also want to support my colleague Honorable Lowo, what they have said this morning, that for us to tell the world that we are solidly behind our speaker, it is very good for us to actually identify ourselves by raising our hands in this month to support any form of motion that encourage you as a leader and that also, let the world know that Lagos State House of Assembly is one, and we are solidly behind the Right Honorable Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Ajayi Obasa. Thank you, sir.
Honorable Sylvester.
Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues. I raised my toe. I stand this afternoon, to support what our Honorable Olo have said, because to me, I read about it on Saturday too, and before coming to the assembly, I've been hearing about this assembly that they are one, and whatever they do it like family. But to my surprise, sir, we are new members, we believe that we are here to learn from the old ones. And what we are seeing now is quite different from what we have been hearing before coming to the House of Assembly. I heard about people trending it on social media that 26 of the members signed against the speaker. Maybe they want to impeach him or so. But to me, a member representing Ekpe Constituency 2, I will never be part of a member that will sign against somebody that will be impeached. I give my loyalty to the speaker. I give my loyalty to the principal officer of this house, and I give my loyalty to the people that elect me in to serve them from my constituency. Mr. Speaker, sir, as regards to this, I will advise the leadership of this house to look into what is going on in this LSHA chamber. Because the matter that is trending on every day, putting on social media, is not just a blackmail to just the seat of the speakers alone. It's a slap on everybody sitting in this LSHA chamber. It's a slap to even the people that believe we are representing them. And to me, I would like to say, we should know from today, if we can fish out the people that are giving information about what is going on in this LSHA chamber, because I believe we are just 11 that came in new. We don't know something that has been going on since 2015. And most of it, if something is even going on, we all that just came in will benefit from it. And we believe, before coming to the House of Assembly, we campaign, we spend money, we do many things on our constituency to make sure we emerge as a candidate. And for me to now be seeing what's going on today, maybe we are having issues, and to me, I'm not seeing it like we're having issues. We should just look at ourselves and give advice and way forward on how to go in this House of Assembly. Thank you.
Honorable Ogundibu.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to really commend the leadership of the House concerning the issue of the... Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to thank the leadership of the House on being proactive on the issue of NSAS that the House intervened on Friday. It was a really commendable act, and it can't happen without having a good leader in place. So we commend you and the whole leadership of the House. Yes, I saw another thing on the platform that has to do with 26 signed that was being sent on our platform, and I smile because there are a lot of things that can never happen, or look at something that is possible when you look at it. 26 in this House. I don't think there is anybody that is really after the leaders of this House, especially Mr. Speaker. I'm not aware. If there are information that have been brought, to cause division, to cause anarchy, to cause problem, we should investigate it. We've been saying this thing. 26 coming in this place to sign against impeachment of Speaker is a fallacy, lie. And it shouldn't be something that should disturb us, because I know I didn't sign anything. And all other speakers and those people that will speak after me will also say their own. So all this type of lies should not be something that should be causing harmony within us. Rather, we should stay focused. Right Honorable Speaker and the leadership of the House, I am in support of your leadership. I'm not in any way at any point in time sign with anybody. If there is evidence, people should bring it out so that there should not be causing division in this place. Nothing like that, to the best of my knowledge. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Makinde.
Thank you, the Right Honorable Speaker. I'm delighted today to speak on 2-3 issues here. And then the first one among one is the noble work you've been doing in this LSHA chamber by coming up with brilliant bills and motions to ensure that the other organs of the government is be strengthened to carry out their lawful jobs, among which is the Neighborhood Safety Corps, is still trending. Other state assemblies have come to Lagos State to borrow our law, to copy it, and to ensure that it's being implemented in their various states. And this really corroborates the statement or the saying of the wise one that says, a state will never be better than its laws and institutions. The better the robust our laws, the better the kind of government we have. Be that as may, I really want to go to the issues that is trending in the social media, in which we have a lot of information that has been repeatedly sending on the social media. I want to implore some of us, the honorable members here, if you are really honorable, to desist from this act of inciting the public, inciting the House against the public. I'm fed up of people calling me from outside Lagos State and within Lagos State that what is happening at the Halo Chamber, what is happening to our Right Honorable Speaker. I now start wondering that what is the envelope of the House of Assembly? What is the total budget appropriated to the House of Assembly that they will now be shouting Obasa at all time? Go to executive arm of government. All what the House have is not up to an agency annual budget. What are we embezzling here? What kind of property does Mr. Speaker have all over the country? From when to when? This is too bad of an honorable member to be pushing out information to the Sahara liars. And I cannot blame the Sahara reporters. They are only working for their own money. And that's the only area they know they can perform. And one thing I want the Institute of Journalism to know is that for every information that goes out, they should be able to censor it, so that at the end of the day, the public will not be misleading. We need good report, we need good information that will really help our health. Today, someone dies, today, accident, all these things not helping us at all. Not only this country that disaster happened, but the way our journalists manage our information is too bad. It's very, very bad. You can see what the president of the United States of America is doing. If it's in Nigeria, I know they will have called for the impeachment of that the president. Please leave Obasa alone. Obasa is ours, is working for us. It is symbol of the institution we have here, the legislative arm of government. If you want to have, if you have a personal issue with him, settle with him. Don't really law it on the budget of the House of Assembly. It's too bad. When about 3 or 4 months ago, we discussed about our official vehicle being given to us. Why some people are just throwing the people all over. Go to other small agencies, they are using better vehicle. I believe none of us come to this house with barefoot. We came here with series of vehicles coming to the House of Assembly. So I want to employ all what we've been having on the social media is from 40 members of us, except the Right Honorable Speaker. Except Right Honorable Speaker that can now be exonerated from this. So please, enough of jargons on the social media. The same information repeating and repeating and repeating. And I try to even monitor the response of people. You can see that those people that send the information on the social media, they don't even send the people to even make a comment. So funny indeed. So please, I'm begging and I'm imploring them, because I want to quote a verse of the Bible so that we can know that whatever we do here, the posterity will not forgive any one of us here, either good or bad. Please, Mr. Speaker, please kindly allow me to read this verse from the scripture. Isaiah 55:7-9. It said that, let the wicked forsake their ways, and the unrighteous their thoughts. Let them turn to the Lord, and he will have mercy on them, and to our God, for he will freely pardon. That is when you repent. It now goes further that, for my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither your ways are my ways, declare the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so my ways higher than your ways, and my thought than your thought. Please kindly allow me to go further, sir, in the Quran, this Bible verse.
You have to open a church. Don't turn this place to church.
So, in the Quran, Quran 20, verse 15, it said, "Verily, the hours is coming. My desire is to keep it hiding, for every soul to receive its reward by the measure of its endeavor." Please, we are Ninth Assembly. The effort of the other past honorable members, we should not erode it through our own selfish end, pursuing our selfish end. House is a sanctuary that we need to really honor and respect at all times. Thank you very much.
Honorable Mosumola.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To me, thank you, sir. To me, I want to commend you and I want to commend your spirit. And if you look at it, I think your style of leadership is worthy of emulation. All these jargons that they have been saying about or posting in the social media, I think for us that's outside, we've been hearing lots of things about it. And I think everybody knows that it's that all the stories that are being put in the social media is untrue. And we all know your worth in this house, and we want to encourage you, and we'll continue to pray for you. And I want to let you know that you are for us, and we are for you. We are an unshakable person, and by the special grace of God, nothing bad will happen to you. By the grace of God. Thank you, sir.
Honorable Council.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My Right Honorable Speaker, Right Honorable Mudashiru Ajayi Obasa, I must say that I'm in awe of you. I say this because your level of maturity and leadership is definitely unprecedented. And Mr. Speaker, I want to go down memory lane a little bit. And I think I just want to go as far back as when the 8th Assembly started. I remember when, a few months into the 8th Assembly, when you became Speaker, they said you couldn't do 6 months. You went beyond 6 months. They said you couldn't do 1 year. You went beyond 1 year. They said you couldn't do more than 1 year. A full tenure elapsed, and you succeeded greatly. Unprecedented and very, very merited excellence. Another tenure has started, and now they want to fuel trouble. Mr. Speaker, they said a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step. You started with a great step, and now you are taking giant steps and making giant strides. And now they want to distract. That is not going to happen. At least I stand as a person to say, I say no to that. And I know that I speak for at least as much as 30 of us in this House of Assembly, that the mischief makers are not going to succeed. However, Mr. Speaker, I must point out that how is it possible for a minority to lead a majority? It is not possible in this institution. It is a prestigious institution, and we must learn to work together with a lot of cohesiveness. Let me refer back to when the acting clerk was actually selected. We all knew how they went to the public domain to start saying all sorts of nonsense against the House and faulted the selection process. But at the end of the day, we should still come out smiling and high-flying, because this is a prestigious House, and it is the first always the best pace-setter state amongst the legislature of this nation. Mr. Speaker, I want you to be patient with the world, because the sky is just your starting point. Today, I rise to say that my loyalty to you is definitely not flawed. It is very, very intact, and I will continue to stay loyal. Finally, Mr. Speaker, I must say that the few members that seem to be causing disharmony in this hallowed chamber, you are known to us. You are no alien to us. We know. But I have a message for you. The party, All Progressives Party, is disappointed in you, because in a house full of, without no opposition, one accord is what we should maintain. On this note, Mr. Speaker, I would like to support whatever incisions and statements that have been made by Honorable Olowo. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Honorable Afeni.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and good afternoon, my colleagues. Yes, my vote of confidence in the Right Honorable Speaker is steadfast and never in doubt, simply because of your transparency and your decision-making processes are never shrouded in a black box. Your relationship with the other members is that of a biological family, and I really appreciate that. And you give assurances of the kind of future we dream of, full of development, a future that looked like paradise for Lagos State. You also, because of the harmony you create between all arms of government, is very commendable, and the liberty enjoyed by all members under your watch is unquantifiable. I really appreciate that about you. So, and I believe that beneficial governance, that with an all-inclusive leadership style like yours, has no hiding place. So it builds on me that everywhere I am, in my own little ways, I shall sing your praises. I appreciate you. Then lastly, I would just like to talk about the blogs or the news websites and all of them. I just wonder whatever happened to honor in whatever profession you find yourself. They just, even if information are sent to you, you can do a little investigation, but all they're after is driving traffic to their blogs or their websites just so that they can sell that traffic to advertisers and make money and all that. That is very shameful. Please, let's bring honor to all professions. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My vote of confidence.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm happy to join this August body once again. Yes. Let me first of all commend the Right Honorable Speaker and this House for our quick and prompt response to the issue of NSAS. It was very, very prompt. Then secondly, on the issue that was spreading online, the issue of the 26, when I got it, you all know how I responded. I said they are kindanidani, they are shiri. That's what I put in our platform. I think I went further. Luckily, in another platform, I got to see the source where the message came from. I got to know, and I could ascertain that it was one Sunday Borishade that sent the message. I got it from another platform. So I put it back to him through his number that, look, if you are talking of Lagos State House of Assembly, forget. There is something like that. He replied me that he will talk with me later. I'm happy to inform this house that he did inform me this morning that he will want me to have a further discussion with me, which I believe will still do. I'm saying all this because I believe there are some undercurrents going on. We may say it's a speculative journalism. We may say that they are lazy journalists, but I'm sure there are some people behind this thing who will unravel it by the special grace of God. Mr. Speaker, sir, I need to let you know that your integrity is never in doubt. Your capability, your ability, your competencies is never in doubt. I strongly stand by you, sir. And I assure you that even if they say it's only one person that is with you, I, Honorable Olawale, will be that one person. And I'm sure I will never be the one person because you are someone that have many followers. By the special grace of God, nothing will happen to you, nothing will happen to me, and nothing will happen to any of us. We will survive. It's our enemy, our common enemy, that will never live to see the end of this night assembly. I identify with you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Honorable Ajari. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good afternoon, distinguished colleagues. Mr. Speaker, speaking from a young person's perspective, because I've had a lot of emails, messages, calls from the young people in Lagos State saying, you more than anything represent us. Why is it you haven't spoken more about SARS? Sir, if I wasn't in this House of Assembly, I would have been outside picketing with my fellow brethren when you addressed us that night. And for that, sir, you are a personal hero to me. If regardless of the naysayers, the talk we hear, that is due to the virtue of your position and only that. There is a focus and attention on you as a leader in this state, a leader that is able to speak for people. And the reason I'm talking to the youth specifically is because there's one lesson I learned from you. The first conversation I had with you becoming an honorable member, and you said that we should all go and read. We should read our Constitution. We should know what the laws mean. We should know how they affect us and how we can change our lives. So if we have leaders like you telling us young people to do things of that volition, of that nature, it shows that you want us to grow. You want the nation as a whole to grow. You also want this assembly to grow because you've done the same thing for each one of the assembly members sitting here today. You have never for once detracted or put down an honorable member before me. That is nothing I have seen before. So for us to see the news stating that 26 people in this hallowed chamber were against you, sir, it was absolutely bewildering. Because I know, personally, I can speak to 30 very strong members that I'm very, very close to in this house that would never speak a word against you. So unless we have 56 honorable members in the Lagos State House of Assembly Lagos State House of Assembly, which we do not, sir, I am with you 150%. If it was possible to move it to infinity percent, sir, we would. We're with you 100%, and we pray that the remainder of your tenure will be blessed by the grace of God.
Honorable Akonde. Please let me be free, please.
Thank you, sir. Come here, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, good afternoon. I wish to start by quoting what one of the films I watched and what Ashwaju said. I watched a film in Yoruba. He said, "Eje ko gun omi." And then it was in that regards that Ashwaju has called us and said, peace be unto us. And peace we needed. But it's unfortunate. Before I even go on, let me first of all say, Mr. Speaker, may God continue to bless you, sir. God should also continue to bless all of us and all the principals officers. But I want to go from the code of conduct, from what Honorable Makinde has said, Honorable Kasumu, Honorable Lowo, and I want to avert our mind to some of the things that we neglect in the code of conduct that we made for ourselves. When I come this way, a lot of people will say, Otuti Bere, Mobasa, this, that. But I am only worried of what we do at these allo chambers. If actually we are doing what we're supposed to do as a member. Let's, Mr. Speaker, with kind permission, I will avert our mind to Section 3 of the Code of Conduct, General Conduct and Interpretation, Interpersonal Relationship. And I will go, sir, to Section 3, Subsection 5. Promote the spirit and the culture of democracy by avoiding violence and intolerance in favor of peaceful discourse and debate. Not only that, I will go to 9. Give a listening ear and be sympathetic to the plight of the ordinary citizen, which you have been doing, sir. Again, I want to avert our mind to Section 4, conduct on the floor of the House. And Section sub 16, not engage in any speech and action likely to cause confusion or disaffection in the House. Our code of conduct. When you go to media and start saying all sort of things, all manner of statements, we are forgetting this section of our code of conduct. Again, sir, I want to avert our mind to Section 5, conflict of interest. At all time, place national and state interest above any other consideration in all their official and personal matters. When we take a matter of privilege to the general public, we are negating this aspect of our code of conduct and code of ethics. Section 4, not allow their personal interest to influence their official decisions. Again, because we all know what degenerates to this level. Have we not used our own personal interest to cause havoc to the House? And you are not causing havoc to the House. You are also causing havoc to the state and yourself. Mr. Speaker, God will continue to bless you. Please, sir, you give me little time, sir. You know I'm a talkative.
No, you don't.
Abuse of office.
Just make it brief, please.
Okay, sir. Do any act that is unlawful or contrary to public interest and policy. Again, we have contravened this aspect. Now, that brought me to the question. We have 40 members on these allo chambers. And we were saying that at least I, Victor Olusegun Akode, I am for Obasa. Section 27, Order 27 of our rules stipulates the function of the majority leader. And otherwise, I will now call on our majority leader to speak for the majority people, whether the minority who are 10 or 8 can supersede the majority. Or we want to know, is he going to be on our side to tell us? Because he has to speak for us. Order 27 is clear. If it is a majority, it's a majority. It can never be a minority. So I will call on, permit me, sir, I don't have that power, but majority leader that is leading the majority people supposed to tell us whether the majority of us that want Mr. Speaker on that seat, and he will continue to be on that seat, he will represent us and he will talk on our behalf. On that note, I thank you very much, and God will continue to bless you. You have done so much, and I know what you have done for us to return. I am a critical person. I don't give in easily. But you brought me with your leadership style to APC. God will continue to bless you, and I'm enjoying it. Thank you very much, sir.
Honorable Jude, in brief, please. We still have other members.
Yeah. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, my speaker, and my dearest colleagues. Sir, for me, my loyalty to your leadership and the leadership of this house is not in doubt. I will always say, anytime, any day, you have been doing well. When we even rank in Nigeria today, legislators, they hold Nigeria. By the time we rank the first 10, sir, I believe you'll be among the first, irrespective of their level, either as senators, House of Reps, and assemblies. Because of your experience, God has endowed you with that opportunity, and you have been there for years. And I believe among all of us here, you are the only one that have the highest experience so far. So why not give honor to whom honor is due? You deserve it. It's not my making. Neither is our making. It's God that did it for you. So the issue of a PhD, or what we call pull him down syndrome, cannot fly here. It cannot. And in my place, there is this adage they will say, when you are trying to pull somebody down, if you are not careful, you are indirectly pulling yourself. And you are digging a fit for somebody, you may fall in that deep. So I also want to tell my colleagues, working together will help us. This is a house that everybody have known, say a house of common standards of excellence. What is happening to that again? What is happening to it? Why can't we retrace our step? Where are we heading to? If, peradventure, you want to pull our leader down, will you going to replace him? What gain are you going to have? There's no gain there. So for me, let us please bring this house back together the way we are. And sir, for me, my loyalty is not in doubt. And as far as I'm concerned, by the grace of God, you will finish your term as the Speaker of this house. And not only that, I just believe that as a shining star, some of us do not expect your performance when you started. Probably they thought by now you would have failed. But because you are progressing and God is still lifting you up. And that is why as a leader, people want to throw stone at you. But I want to encourage you, sir. As a leader, you will take a lot of things. But for me, I know I will always stand with you. God bless you, sir.
Thank you. Honorable Desmond, in brief, please.
Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues. Mr. Speaker, to To God be the glory, sir. I am a bit worried. When it comes to other matters, Mr. Speaker, you allow us talk and talk and talk. When it comes to talking about you, you say in brief. I don't understand though, Maoga. Because the truth is, you are not the one who is going to talk about you. It is your followers that will talk about you. Mr. Speaker, in the 8th Assembly, I stood at this same place to talk about the way you talk about integrity. They said you don't smile, you are smiling now. They say you don't move, you are moving now. They say you are not flexible, you are flexible now. Do they want you to fry plantain? Mr. Speaker, Honorable Victor has used the law term and the legal term. I didn't go to law school. I will use entertainment to qualify this. To those of us who watch Big Brother, at the beginning, you would not have thought that Lekon was going to win. Eventually, he brought out qualities. He moved the country, moved from 3,000 lovers to over 2 million in 2 months. Mr. Speaker, you're an amazing man. And is it going by the laws we've made at the House of Assembly? Is he talking about your teaching skills, the one you say, and the unspeakable ones? How we harmonize laws, how we amend laws to be up to date and in line with present practice? I'm just shocked and bewildered and filled with disdain and utter disgust by the uncanny approach that has been taken by the 5th columnist in our midst. Let's not dilly-dally anymore, Mr. Speaker. Let us hit the nail on the head. They are here. I woke up and I saw 26 people have signed to impeach who? The man who has led us through? How? Today, sir, it's not say I, everybody must raise up if they are in support for the vote of confidence. I support what Honorable Loa said. Mr. Speaker, some people have tried in this place to unsettle the integrity and the sanctity of the House of Assembly. And sir, we will not let that happen. I want to say that those who have plagued a clog in the wheel of progress of the Lagos State House of Assembly, even if it means us invoking the suspension that we gave initially, sir, let us do it again. We cannot, and I repeat, sir, because it is not Obasa, they are touching every member. Fellow colleagues, it's all of us. They keep bringing out things over and over again. For a man who speaks of integrity, how will he himself? Sir, there are many times we come to meet you for, let's investigate this, investigate that, let's do this, let's do that. You tell us no. Cool down. Calm down. Watch the waters. And then somebody comes from nowhere and puts it out there. It is not the people outside. It's in the house, sir. Invoke suspension again. It's my plea. Even if it's the last one I'm going to say here. But I'm asking, sir, I came in the 8th Assembly and I met a house of integrity. We should make it better when we are leaving this house for those who had come to come. Thank you, sir. I rest my case.
Who is that? Honorable Lua.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to thank Honorable Luo for bringing this to the floor of the House this afternoon, because I have been reading about all those things they've been sending on the social media. Sir, for me, I strongly believe I'm behind you, because when I saw 26, I was like, where are these 26 coming from? I was even asking myself, maybe we have some members, maybe in another House of Assembly somewhere else. Mr. Speaker, there's one thing that baffles me. I read on that social media that you traveled to Istanbul, Turkey, that you are supposed to go with some members and you went alone without taking any members along. So I'm very happy this afternoon to tell my colleague that on that trip, I was on that trip to Istanbul, Turkey. My humble self, Honorable Mojit too, was on that trip. Honorable Miwa Jimotu was on that trip. Honorable Muftau Egberungbe too was on that trip. Surprisingly, sir, I didn't see Honorable Miwa Jimotu's name. They didn't list his name. So I was thinking, sir, that he is behind this because we were together in Turkey, which we went for seminar then. And I think I myself, I left Lagos on the 7th of August, 2017, and returned on the 11th of August. Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, with due respect, it will be out of place if we reactivate the previous suspension, as earlier said by Honorable Desmond. Thank you.
Honorable Okonlawon, in brief, please. Please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. May I first say that I thank you very much for the swiftness and the responsiveness and for the speed of light by which you responded, to the yearnings of our youth, regarding the NSAS agitation. I want to say that this Alo chamber will be counted and will never be forgotten for a resolution taken here on Friday in support of NSAS. I thank you for that, Mr. Speaker. Having said that, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I want to thank Honorable Lowe for bringing this to the fore. I see the rumor making the rounds as the ranting of an ant. And I also see it as the figment of imagination of the author. They are all agents of destruction, distraction, agent of falsehood, agent of destabilization. It will not work. It's all bunkum, it's fallacy. What is happening, Mr. Speaker, is a passing phase in our life. We shall overcome it. Who will want to kill a golden hen that lays golden eggs? Who will want to kill it? Mr. Speaker, to us here in this LSHA, you are the golden hen that has been laying those golden eggs. Nobody would support that. Who will want to kill a legislator par excellence? A legislator whose contribution has made this Alo chamber very thick. We have become reference point in the annals of this country. And you say you want to kill that golden hen. It will not be possible. Mashallah. Who says he wants to kill Mr. Speaker, our speaking speaker? Who, for his giant strides, has been recognized nationwide. Little wonder he's made the chairman of the Conference of Speakers. Who will want to kill the human developer? Mr. Speaker, you are a human developer. You have tried for us in this house. Who amongst us will say has not benefited in training, in workshops, seminars, and what have you? Even our drivers have benefited from that. Mr. Speaker, you are a team player. We know that. You would never take a decision without carrying along or without the concurrence of the principal officers and sometimes we members. So who wants a team player to leave the field? Who who want a selfless leader that we know, and that is Right Honorable Mudashiru, Dr. Mudashiru Ajayi Obasa, a selfless leader who will, for no reason whatsoever, compromise the sanctity of this house, even while maintaining the delicate balance of independence and interdependence of the three arms of government who want to kill it. We are not for it. I, Sonny Gani Babatunde Okonlawon, I stand for Obasa. Thank you.
Honorable Majid. Please, in brief.
Good afternoon, sir. You have the following outstanding quality. One, you are a selfless leader, a futuristic leader, an accommodating, a listening leader, a leader with large heart. I refer to you as a futuristic leader based on the numbers of the bill sponsored by you. One of it is the tenure allegations for the local government and LCDA. Initially, the tenures of the local government and LCDA was 3 years. But with your bill, they are on the same par with the state and the federal. I refer to you as a listening leader. I could recollect vividly during our parliamentary meeting when we were about to get our official car. The principal officers, they came with another versions of the car. But with the majority, we opted for battle jeep. You concur with us. You are a listening leader. I call you an accommodating leader because you embrace everybody. You are a leader that doesn't believe in separation. I could recollect vividly during the assembly, 8 members of us are from PDP. But with outstanding quality leadership they discover in you, they decided to join the moving train. They decided to join the APC, and today we have some of them return. You are the best leader. In order to carry the story short, I stand with you. There is no 99.9% reality. It is either 100 or 0. I give you the 100% reality. Thank you.
I know it's my turn. Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker. Fellow colleagues. Doing good, Mr. Speaker, or coming up with brilliant bills responding to requests of people is part of you. I don't know the amount of commendation that I will give you. That will be enough. So just continue, Mr. Speaker. I love you. Let us call a spade a spade. I laughed when I saw the publications that 26 people signed against Mr. Speaker. Well, for sure, I know it in my mind that it can never be from this chamber, maybe from the gallery. They gathered their signature from the gallery. The information from Honorable Victor that the majority that should tell us where he belongs, whether to the majority or to the minority. We need to get that from the majority leader. And Honorable Gudimu, don't be sure that something is fallacy or it's a lie. We have some information at our disposal. I don't know why Honorable Jimo Wahab is looking around for Mr. Speaker's residential apartment in US, calling people to get information about Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, if any publication should come out concerning apartment in US, this and that, Honorable Jimo Wahab should go on indefinite suspension. I am suggesting this. Because we don't need to preach. We are not here for preaching. If it is war, let it be war. We are the true Dodondawers of this house. This is Shokunle Olushola Hakim. I'm in support of Mr. Speaker 100%. But anybody, if it's going to be Muyiwa Jimo, I am less concerned. If it needs to go on suspension, and we should also investigate my dear brother, Honorable Oshun. If it's part of it, let them go back and sleep for a while. Then, when we have peace, to call them back. But for now, Obasa for sure. Thank you.
Ojimakoli, please in brief.
Thank you, my speaker. Good afternoon, distinguished colleagues. You have to forgive me for my voice. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, you are a man. You are sweet. You're nothing short of a miracle of creation. You're a specimen of wonder and grace. You're a wonderful leader. I could recall the beginning of this year, I came to your office and I asked you, Mr. Speaker, there is something I'm going through as a woman. Why is it that when a woman wants to succeed, there is always battle around her? Why does she have to go through so many problems to be able to become successful? Is it that women are not born to be successful? Why is it that somebody has to fight a battle for her head to touch the ceiling? And you told me this. I remember it in my head. You said, I have to work, 3 times, the normal work that I'm supposed to do. And I should never give up. That's how we get there. I'm sure you remember this, sir. Mr. Speaker, it's very unfortunate that we have this kind of man that understands this game, this job called legislature. You are born to rule. That's why you're here. Everybody wants to be speaker, but you are destined to be there. It's timely. It's germane. It is God's project that you're there. He put you there because he knows you. And I have been a beneficiary of your legacies in this house. I'm always proud to be a part of this institution. And I always thank God that I became successful and I'm here. But for those people, the naysayers, Omasheu, I feel pity for them. Because when they fight you, they fight your God. And they will meet their doom in no time. I want to speak. I am Mojisola Sherifat, Mojisola Oluwa, Omokendi Aduni. I represent the good people of Amuodofin. I am Mama Amuwu, and I know that my people in Amuodofin, they join me in supporting you. My loyalty is 1,000%. It's not even 100%. It is 1,000%. Because you have made me to understand this legislation, that you can do it, Moji. Go out there and shine. And that's what I'm doing. Mr. Speaker, ride on, no shaking. Nobody can take you out of that seat because you're born to be there. God bless you, Mr. Speaker. God bless you, sir.
Honorable Tobin. In brief, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Well, first and foremost, I want to thank God that today has come to rear his head again. Secondly, I want to tell you that I, Tobun Abiodun, representing the people of Okpe Constituency 1, I am solidly behind you. And the reason is just very clear. You may not know how to dance. You may not know how to sing. But when it comes to parliamentary procedures, parliamentary issue, legislation, you are a genius. God bless you. Then on the issue of the SARS youth, so many other things, you've been doing wonderfully well. But to my colleague, we should search our conscience. We should search our mind. If we were to look for a person who is not working, I feel should be disgruntled, should be deputy speaker, who showed interest in the first instance and second instance, and was not given that slot. And he accepted his fate, and is working judiciously, sincerely, with Right Honorable Speaker to move this house, to move Lagos to the next level. Let me tell us, we are 40. And we have 22 million Nigerians, Lagosians, and residents. And if you go by calculation, we are 0.18% of 22%. Can't we count ourselves lucky? Or is it that we cannot manage sources? And just one Pramos inter pares, one person has to be chosen to lead us. God has chosen Right Honorable Speaker, Mudashiru Ajayi Obasa. We are not the only person that contested for this position. In APC alone, we are 220. I'm aware. When we were called to the Shangisha's SSS office, is it not enough for us to think and thank God? Why are we now trying the syndrome of pull him down. I said it the other time. It was as if I said, we have bad followers too. We want to pull their leaders down by all means. If we want to put person down, no destruction is awaiting him at the door of his step. I want to advise us. We are not the only person from our various constituencies, especially some of us who have been voted for first time, second time, and third time. We are not the best. For some of us who are here, who are trying to move around and back and front, I want to appeal to you. If you are here, please desist from that. And Mr. Speaker, I want to assure you that this Alo chamber, we are solidly behind you. I am saying this emphatically clear, that this Alo chamber, we are solidly behind you. The fifth columnist outside should leave us. Impeachment of Speaker is not on the social media. We are not morons here. We are not fools. There is a procedure stated in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And the House has been given power to regulate its proceedings and activities. We are doing it. If Mr. Speaker here, don't come and tell us. We know what to do. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. God bless you.
Thank you. Honorable Sulaiman. In brief, please. In brief.
Good afternoon, the Right Honorable Speaker, and good afternoon, my distinguished colleagues. The old order changeth, yielding old places to new. But God fulfilled himself in many ways. Among the ways which God has fulfilled himself is your existence, Mr. Speaker. Our leader, this is not by chance. You see, it is one of the God's way of choosing leader. When we talk about democracy, there is no democracy without parliamentarian. This is what distinguishes democracy from any other form of government. The arrangement and the representation of, by people distinguishes democracy. We have the power to choose who our leaders should be. We have the power to say, go ahead. And we have the power to say, stop. You are destined to be there. We have chosen you. God has chosen you. In the light of this, I want to tell you that the information going around about 26 members of us having signed for your resignation is a fiasco. Indeed, it is ludicrous. On this note, I want to implore the House, especially the leadership of the House, because this is a House that is comprised of one-party members. We are all APC. We don't have minority leader, but we have only majority leader. And from this angle, we should see our majority leader as our leader. And our majority leader should see us as our leader. I believe by the time you sit together, as a representative of us, who are the representative of the people, you should be able to nip all this in the bud. We don't need people from outside to be talking about what is going on. It is what we air out to them. On this note, God will help us. We are tired of this. In fact, while I was outside, my intention was, when I get there, I have known what I'm going to do, but of course, nothing. Nothing. I knew nothing. When I met Mr. Speaker, the way he analyzed things to me, in fact, I have now seen that he's an encyclopedia of parliamentary decisions, parliamentary knowledge. So, representing my people, I am saying that we are solidly behind you. I am 100% for you. If it is time for us to raise up our hand or to show, to to just show how committed we are. I am ready for it. Thank you very much, sir.
Honorable Lumo. Please make it short, please.
All right, sir. Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleague. Yorùbá ní àìtóyínká là ń fọwọ́ bò. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ní sàn láàrin ajé ní mú ní pẹ̀kọ̀rọ̀. Wọ́n ní balẹ̀ ní balọ́la tójú òun ò bá fọ́ kí ló máa ń dálẹ̀ báwo ni. Enough is enough. We are not kids here. We are matured people. We are sent here to represent the interests of our constituency and Lagos State. And I think when we say enough is enough, enough should be enough. We have been on this one for some time now. I do not see any reason why anybody in his right thinking senses who chase after the destruction of the image of this house will look for the downfall of the symbol of this house in person of Mr. Speaker. I don't know how to say it than what I've said, but there are some questions that have been raised here today. Majority Leader, with due respect, sir, you have to tell us whether you are for the majority or for the minority. That question must be answered. Secondly, Honorable Jimoh's name has come to bear. People have mentioned his name. I've not even been seeing him in these LSHA chambers. I don't know the reason for that. Maybe Mr. Speaker gave him permission to do so. Otherwise, he should be called to answer. We cannot continue like this. A civilized society is not run this way. We can't bring this institution down. Some people sweat to make it what it is today. Why must we bring Obasa down? For what? Tanyo Nitie. Ejeka for work on the Bani Borumbe. Why must we bring the man down? Enough, I say, is enough. For me, I'm ready. Emi o kin shi ogun látẹ̀yìn. Mi ò dẹ̀ ń dúró sáàrin o. I fight my war from the front. Anybody who is prepared to destroy the image of this house will go down. He will go down. Pẹ̀lú nǹkan tó bá ní. We can't continue like this. People are tired. I was embarrassed somewhere some few days ago. I didn't even know there was anything online. Until the person called and said, your speaker is at it again. I said, which speaker? And I read it. This malicious lie from Sahara reporters. Why must we continue like this? We need to look inward. We need to think. I said this some time ago. I said, you want to bring this man down. You want to make him look as if he cannot take control of this house, the night assembly. Mr. Speaker, you are big enough to rule. Oga, you will say I should cut it short. But I'm trying to cut it short. I won't say more than this, but I'm going to tell you that if you are looking for people that are with you, count me as one. Lukman Olumo. I got the permission from my constituency. The leadership of Ajeromi Felulu Constituency 1 are solidly behind you. I will not leave you. Because not only that you have taken me for whatever I stand to represent to be one of you in this house, you have taught me what representation is as a legislator. You have also taught me that to be a lawmaker, I must know how to make law. And you have also taught me how to do oversight business, which is the major thing that I've come to do in this house. God bless Nigeria. God bless Lagos State. Thank you.
In brief, please.
Bismillah. Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Right, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Member, my honorable colleagues, he did not start and us the king. May God continue showing you the right way. I saw it, Lagos Lawmaker collect 26 signatures to impeach the embattled speaker. Yesterday, again, inclusive. They put it there, Lagos Speaker Obasa in trouble as Speaker moved to avert impending impeachment. I don't know where this impeachment comes from. you have the majority, Oga, maybe if you don't know. If you have majority, Mr. Speaker, I don't see any reason why people will just be wasting time talking about you, wrong about you. You can talk if you see at least what this man is doing is bad. It's better. But now, we can't say it, and you can see now, it's very good they told us now from one of our honorable members now, that Honorable Muyiwa Jimo, that is part of this game. Why he cannot big, or what do you call it, nobody's above the house. We should call him. I'm in support of Honorable Shokunle very, very well. But Mr. Speaker, God bless you. God bless our speaker, because I feel lucky to belong to this team. I mean this ninth assembly. Because the speaker have added a lot of value to the hearing of members and citizens. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for showing how great you are. Mr. Speaker, on behalf of all people in Mushin Constituency 1, sir, I, Nureni Ainde Akisoya, I am solidly behind you, and I'm giving you my total support, nothing less than 100%. Nobody will fall you down. People who try down with Kahaba, they are all down. By the grace of God, you will continue to rise and shine. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Mojim Miranda.
Well, Alhamdulillah, for counting me worthy of among those that will rise this afternoon to speak. And I would like to start with a song, if you'll permit me, Mr. Speaker. Onwe daniron, onwe daniron, onwe daniron, onwe daniron, obami alawo pa onwe daniron. I would also want to greet some of us that we started, that we joined you from 8th Assembly. That congratulations once again. For this occasion, we thank God and we thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for vindicating some of us. And I also want to use this opportunity to congratulate the new members that joined us in this 9th Assembly. I congratulate you that immediately you came on board, there was no proxy between you and Mr. Speaker. Some of us are here today. We can tell the story. Honorable Desmond Elliott, Honorable Sholaja, till we finish 8th Assembly, Honorable Sholaja and Desmond Elliott had no committee. This house did not come down. It did not come down. From our first minute on earth, God has given everybody what you're going to be. Why don't we just accept and let us accept our fate and our destiny, what God has destined us to be in life? I tell people, whoever that God will not pull down, no man can pull him down. Whoever that God will not cover his glory, no man can do that. Some of us, we faced it during the 8th Assembly. But alhamdulillah, lies upon lies. Pull him down syndrome. Lying all because of their own selfish interest. God is not sleeping. Even in Hajj, Saudi Arabia, we all went there to pray for lesser Hajj. And we still have members of this house talking. You don't know, on she meeting, on she kineko. God was watching you. And when it is payback time, nobody will stop that. Mr. Speaker, like I used to say during the 8th Assembly, Baba, entema sumo at entema safun, Ọlọ́run a máa fi wọ́n wọ̀nyí. Ọlọ́run ò dẹ̀ ní farapamọ́ jẹ́ kọ̀ọ̀kan wa níyà. I, last but Mojisola,
rise before you this afternoon, rise, Honorable Speaker, that if you look at your back, you will find me. This is a promise from me and the good people of Apapa Constituency 1. Yeah, lawmakers, scientists, lawmakers, don't let us forget. Councillors too are lawmakers in their respective local government. Thank you and God bless.
Honorable Sholaja.
Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker and my colleagues. Well, I think experience, there's no way you can buy the experience. I think I've worked for nothing less than 20 years in the service of Lagos State, and I've been working with many head of department, chairman of the local government, and others. And I believe honestly I'm able to emulate a lot of things from you. One, you are a listener. And believe honestly, when you see something, you call the particular person, advise him rightly. And I see no reason why other people will do otherwise. And in terms of legislators, you are 100%. You is the one that you allow every one of us to talk. Even where you make mistake, you won't say it openly. You call the person, do it in this way, do it in this way. And that is what we want. Apart from that, you also combine the administrative job of this House of Assembly with legislative arms. To the extent that up to the cleaner, they have seminar. Driver has seminars. Civil servants has seminars. Everybody is enjoying to the extent that other people from other ministries, parastatal agencies, they want to join the House of Assembly. It shows that you are working, and God will be with you. The same thing applicable to what my people have said. We have 8 members of other parties in 8 assemblies. Before the end of the assemblies, before the end of the 8th assembly, 7 joined fully, and they said the purpose of joining. And same thing applicable to your mode of coordinating and presiding at the plenary and parliamentary, and it's 100%. And let me say it again that I think it's last year. They also said that we went to Atlanta. Yes, we went to Atlanta. We got a letter of release on the 20th September 2019, and we left Lagos on the 25 September 2019 to Atlanta. And by God's grace, we are there with Right Honorable Speakers, Honorable Sholaja, my good self, Honorable Fola Jimmy Mohammed, and the late Tunde Brahmo, may so rest in perfect peace. We are there. And what I saw, or what I heard, is that we have not at Atlantis. I have all the evidence. And I'm a citizen, I'm an accountant by excellence. I would never collect money that won't be receipted, because both of credit and debit must be ascertained. And for me, believe me honestly, all what they are saying is fallacy and fake. And let me assure you that Sholaja, Sakan Rudin, are 100% with you and with my constituency from Ikorodu and Ikorodu Constituency 1, Ikorodu Constituency 2. God bless you, sir.
Honorable, let me talk about in brief, please.
Mr. Speaker, I shall disrespect you today, and I will not speak briefly. I will bear for my mind. Mr. Speaker, as you can tell, I'm emotionally bottled up. But before I go into my emotions, I want to say a big thank you to you. You called me 12 o'clock, midnight, on Thursday, and you said there were some youth outside the office protesting, and you said, I would like to address them, come with me. Right on the spot, you decided for emergency plenary and invited them to the plenary. During the plenary, the House resolved and resolutions was passed. Mr. Speaker, the next day, the IGP disbanded SAS. That is unprecedented. It goes to show this House is above the common standard of excellence. And you are the captain of this ship. So far, you stood for us, you stood for the youth, and we say a big thank you. Mr. Speaker, 26 signatures. Yes, maybe true. Maybe our legislators from Osun State. It's possible. But like a legislator once said, you say the truth, you die. You lie, you die. Mr. Speaker, I want to speak the truth. And I will not die. Mr. Speaker, this house is not what it used to be. What we used to hear before we came into the house is not what we're seeing. Right from the first parliamentary, we sat with you. We saw the problems in this house. There were just 11 new members. And from that moment, we saw the tension. Till date, it is still ongoing. Mr. Speaker, I can say to you over 30 members of this house are with you, including myself. So the remaining of them, we know them. They are in this house. They sit with us. Mr. Speaker, don't be surprised that this session going on is being recorded by them. And before we are out of this session, you will see it in the papers again. Mr. Speaker, let's call a spade a spade. Or what you bada ka bedan. For what reason? What has he done? Is he the only one in the house? They go back home to their leadership meeting and still talk bad about you. They cause chaos amongst yourself and the leadership of a party. Mr. Speaker, if you think this attack is about you, no, it's not about you. It's about the leader of our party. And every one of us seated down here. When we came here, they told us this house is the house of common standard of excellence, and we live with peace. Every day, we find something in the papers. And we know those who are doing it. Honorable Jimo is one of them, and he's not alone. I heard a voice recording of him talking about, we heard it. Except we members here just want to lie about it. We all heard it. And he's not working in isolation. His colleagues are here. We have a platform where we talk, we discuss about issues and many other things. Mr. Speaker, even your counterpart from Igatu doesn't even respond on the platform. And there are many of them here. So why are we now feeling ourselves and sitting down? If you want to remove the speaker, go ahead with your eight members. But Mr. Speaker, I think it is time for us to test the powers. They need to know we are majority in this house. Mr. Speaker, I wish you good luck, and I continue to be with you.
Honorable Tijani, in brief, please.
Let me also apologize for my voice. We are the birthday celebrators. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, good afternoon. I also read the publication that 26 members signed for your impeachment, which is a pure lie. And, Mr. Speaker, it is the only unfortunate and unsatisfied people that will say you are not doing well. Are we going to talk about the motion or being sponsored by you, or you're being proactive to address the issue that can affect our society, like you did last week Thursday? And this prompts you to call for an emergency plenary. And within the 24 hours time, your advice was taken by the Special General of Police to dissolve the SARS. It means you are the voice that speaks for the voiceless people. Mr. Speaker, I'm assuring you that with the good people of our local government, I myself, we are solidly behind you. Thank you.
Honorable BC Yusuf.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
In brief, please.
I may not be brief.
You have to be brief. I don't have time.
Well,
please.
somebody said it will not be brief, Mr. Speaker, you did not react. Please let me just lay my own.
Okay.
So, Mr. Speaker, let me lay the premises. The premises is this. I'm not one of those who sign any purported signature for the removal of Mr. Speaker, and I will never do that. Because I'm a builder, I'm not a destroyer. And whatever I build, I will never destroy it. Mr. Speaker, just have that said one that I have never attended any meeting with anybody. I'm saying it here because the Julius Caesar, Mr. Speaker, said, our died many times before their death. Failure never tasted death but once. Upon the thing that I fear in life is death, and it will come when it will come. Mr. Speaker, I'm not one of those who said you are going to be removed. I just laid that premises. Mr. Speaker, thank you also for the emergency meeting you called for the people of my constituency. I thank you. That as it may be, Mr. Speaker, things are not going well, except we are just telling ourselves lies. And you cannot see the virtue in the eyes of men. You cannot see those who love you. You cannot know those who are your enemies. People are saying 30 members. How do they know? Who are the minority? Let them catalog the name of those people. But as Mr. Speaker, one thing came out today, and that's why I thank Honorable Lowo, that they have been able to mention 2 or 3 people. It means that the House is not okay. It means that we need some mechanism to resolve the issue which is on the ground. Mr. Speaker, the House is not all right. Let us set a very powerful committee to unrive those who are alleged to have been behind the trouble in this House. And from there, Mr. Speaker, you will say that many facts will come out.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Naim.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished colleagues. I rise this afternoon to align myself with Honorable Olowo. Mr. Speaker, a lot has been said by my colleagues. Please. Thank you, sir. A lot has been said by my colleagues, but I wouldn't want to repeat what they have said. But I only want to say 2 things as part of your scorecard. One is the fact that when you assume the leadership of the Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, you initiated what we call stakeholders meeting, in which all the 40 members in this House of Assembly will hold it simultaneously. I want to say that it's a plus to you. That is number 1. Number 2, sir, I want to say that while you were the chairman of the Conference of Speakers of State Legislatures, you led all of them, all the speakers, to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to agitate for autonomy. I want to say that the President granted that autonomy by Executive Order 10. I want to say that is a plus to you. Mr. Speaker, I wouldn't want to bore with much word. I just want to say 1 or 2 things again. That Daily Independent newspaper bestowed on you the best legislator of the year in February 2018. Mr. Speaker, I want to say that you earned it. This afternoon, I rise again to say that on behalf of my constituency, I, Honorable Daniel Adams, I want to say that I'm also part of those that pass a vote of confidence on you. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, Honorable, in brief, please.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I will have been in brief if you allow me to speak in Egu. That will be very, very fast. I'm sorry, sir. Mr. Speaker, my colleagues, I say good afternoon to you all. Actually, I want to thank my brother, Honorable Lowo, for bringing this issue. Issue at hand here today, sir, Mr. Speaker, I think I put it in 3 categories. The first one, when Honorable Lowo tried to move the kind of the motion, like elogizing you. I join Honorable Lowo also to elogize you with your contribution and your effort to ensure this institution must continue to be moving higher. Mr. Speaker, also on the second leg, it looked like the same. I didn't say that one as another big issue, that they saw you on that day, that you are addressing the youth. You have been doing it. Even before you became Speaker of this House, I could recollect when I was in, when we were, it's not my second time, I mean, the first time you were in, when there was issue at night, you called me, we went out there, Honorable Kuforiji wasn't around, they travel out. At times, we will be there till 11 to 12 and waiting for the traffic because we leave our office in Lekpako there. You have addressed many issues, which I have seen in you that you are tomorrow, that you can become a leader. And I also pray. At times, I make it jokingly that last year, when they are celebrating your birthday, I said, well, I'm 10th November, you are 11. I said, maybe if you leave the speakership, maybe you allow me to be there by God's grace. Mr. Speaker, the second leg I'm trying to say on the issue of the SARS, Honorable Lowo and the youth, all the things that Mr. Speaker has been doing, me, I will praise you, but I will not praise you as well, but I will say one thing that they will normally say in Lagos Island. They will say, Fokota. One thing Mr. Speaker, continue doing. You didn't know you become a speaker today. If not that you have been doing wonderful work, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, I want to call Honorable Lowo also to please try and call your son in Canada. So please call the youth here. So please, the IG has disbanded this, the SARS, or what do you call them? What are the youth? What are they doing there? They are there making noise again. They are the one causing this thing.
No, they are different groups.
That one they are different.
That one is different.
Another one.
Yeah.
Maybe son will call this group also. Now. Mr. Speaker, they should call them because Asheju, our youth too at times. We are saying the SARS. We also what we are doing. Now going to the third leg. The third leg is from the we youth. Are we not the one on this platform? Who are the people writing that jargons? When the SARS are outside, when searching their phone, that's the reason they are searching their phones. The SARS will have arrested some of them, writing all these things. They bought their when they are sitting down, doing nothing, carrying computer, searching for the millionaires, searching for the Oyetotije, searching for all this rubbish. They are the one calling SARS. Mr. Speaker, I think you are doing wonderful well. So on that last third leg, Mr. Speaker, I will have put the fourth one where my colleagues are talking. Honorable Speaker and my colleagues, I'm a senior legislator here. I'm a ranking member. I have a lot to say, but I can't say it outside here. Maybe when we are in parliamentary, I will appoint to some of us here.
Thank you.
There's a 30. Mr. Speaker, I always tell you one thing. Please, Mr. Speaker, don't be carried away. Continue with your job, doing fine. Mr. Speaker, nothing will happen to Moji, Honorable Mojima. Thank you. You collected that the 8th assembly. So like at time he could not work, he will come to my office to come and sit down. It's not from Mr. Speaker and my fellow colleagues.
Thank you very much.
Lastly,
which one is lastly again?
Okay, because Mr. Speaker,
thank you.
I shouldn't talk. Go on, God will be with you. I'm your own.
Yeah, I'm majority leader.
Mr. Speaker,
please, you take it in brief.
I also want to commend everybody that participated in that proactive address with the protesters led by the Speaker. It was very ingenious and well commendable. Going to the issue of the alleged 26 people lawmakers signing for the impeachment of Mr. Speaker. I see it as very laughable. And I wonder why we are dissipating so much energy addressing it. When in actual fact, as a majority leader of this House, by the privilege of members, Mr. Speaker, and other leaders, I know very well that the process of impeachment of the Speaker is not something that can be achieved on social media. There is a procedure So if anybody has signed non-existing list of 26, and they are coward enough to keep it to themselves and not submit to the clerk, that list will die in their pocket. It becomes null and void and of no effect, if it exists at all. And if anybody has the courage of appending his signature on something, he should have the courage of bringing it forth to achieve the desired objective. Something we learn in law is that where you claim that an evidence exists, and in such an evidence that could be tendered, if it is not tendered, the presumption is that that fact does not exist, and if it exists, you did not tender it because it will not support your position if you tender it. So if some people say there are 26 lawmakers that signed a list to impeach the Speaker, with what has happened here today, have those people who tainted the information not been put to shame? Have their lies not been defeated? There are some things you do, you are only promoting somebody you target as the victim of your action. Whoever that must have promoted that information is just promoting Mr. Speaker. Because when you discover that that 26, if that has not been raised on the social media, perhaps you will not be here discussing all of this. So that's why we have to be cautious of what we do. But let me say, Mr. Speaker, for the records, I find it very embarrassing. People calling me to state where I belong. And my simple questions for you all is, where do you think I belong? And what have I done to suggest I have not? The fact that you keep quiet at times does not mean you don't have things to say. You may just be walking on the path of dignity. A lot of us should ask ourselves individually, in what little way have I contributed to all of this that is happening? Mr. Speaker will not say he doesn't know some that will come to him and tell him about other person, suspecting other person, saying this person did this, when you don't have your facts. Honorable Balogun was here in the 7th Assembly. He has a catchphrase, dog eats dog. This is where dog eats dog, where we chastise ourselves just because we want to be close to the Speaker. Just because we want the Speaker to see us as being very loyal. We say things we don't see. I also hear things as well. But Mr. Speaker, I want to say that as far as I am concerned, God will judge me accordingly.